Hey, if you want something great, I would try these. This is a chuck eye steak. So just right next to the ribeye, it's the chuck, but it's the continuation of the ribeye muscle. We cooked this up, and for $7.58 per pound for steak, this is fantastic. Watch exactly how we did it. It's Jeff with Barbecue Plus, and we're going to talk about chuck steak and doing this a second time. I did a video a little while ago where I did a chuck roast, and I tried to cook it like it would be a steak, and really didn't turn out so good. I guess it was okay. It was just tough, had a lot of good beefy flavor. Ended up just throwing it in the crock pot, putting in some onion soup mix and cranking that thing up in the crock pot over probably about 4 or 5 hours. It came out great. That was a great taste to it. It still maintained some of the smokiness, but the piece that I had was of the chuck, which is part of the shoulder of the cow, and this was up near the neck. So that is definitely a tougher cut, and what I've got here is called a chuck eye. So the chuck eye is really the continuation of the ribeye, and you can just see that that is just a beautiful cut of meat, and we're going to cook this up as we would a steak, and we're going to see how that turns out. So a chuck eye is also known as a Delmonico steak, so you may see that on a menu and recognize that. That's what we've got here, Delmonico steak, $7.58 I think it was a pound. Can't beat that, that's for sure. Hopefully the taste matches up to what my expectations are. I took these out this morning and put lots of kosher salt on both sides, on the edges, and let it sit uncovered in the refrigerator so that way the salt could do its work to kind of get in there, tenderize it, and season it. Now we're going to put it on the grill and smoke it for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours at a low setting, and then we're going to give it a sear at the end. This is a chuck eye. It was $7.48 per pound, which if you compare that to like a ribeye or any other finer cut of steak, I'll say, it's going to be much more. Is this worth it? Well, let's throw it on and find out. They look pretty lonely in there, those two little chuck eye steaks, but we're gonna give them a little bit of time to absorb that smoke, kind of come up to temperature. We wanna probably pull those out at about 120 degrees internal temperature, and that's when we'll do our external sear on there to get a nice little crust on there. We'll probably add a little bit more seasoning at that point also, but for now, we're just gonna let these guys roll. So we have been smoking this for about an hour and a half or so. I would say hour and a half to 2 hours is probably good. We're going to take a look and see exactly what the temperature is right now with this probe. We're about 100 degrees on the larger, and on the smaller one of these, we're sitting a little bit lower at about 98 degrees, 99 degrees. So not too much different. So what I did was I opened up the hatch, which is covering the burn pot. And with a Yoder, it gives the ability to do that sear by having the direct flame come up, and then we put the grill grates on the top, and these are aluminum grill grates, and we've got them set up so that they are flat on the top, kind of like you would do with a cast iron. So this will give us the chance to be able to sear this for finishing it off. And right on the top there, as we've got lots of heat coming up there, I did turn the pit up to about 350 degrees. That'll reach pretty quick because the fact that it's open and it's letting all that flame and all the heat and everything straight up in. So it's time to move those over and finish them off on the sear. We're going to add a little bit of Montreal seasoning. I kind of like this on steak. So we're going to throw a little bit of that on, and we're going to hit that sear plate with a little bit of olive oil. This is a great little mister that I found on Amazon. This thing works out really good. This is not product placement, but hey, it's pretty cool. Little flip up thing here to pour olive oil out, or you can just hit the little thing here to mist it. So love that. Anyway, let's flip this over. Temperature was a little bit higher on the internal of that smaller piece. We're just going to put them both on there. Now we're just going to let the fire do its magic and finish us off for us. Give us a little bit of sear, a little bit of crust. Then we'll give them a few minutes, cut into them, and see what that tastes like. All right, we are up to temp on those. So we're going to take both of those guys off. So look at that. That is looking really beautiful. I'm excited to give this a try. That is a nice looking bite there. I would say again, it's a little bit of a chewier steak than what you probably would experience with something that doesn't have a lot of intermuscular fat and is from a leaner part of the cow. But this is really good. I mean, that is pretty rare. Yeah, I would put this up against most other steaks that I've cooked. I think this is great. It's got a lot of flavor to it. I have got no complaints about this at all. Let's cut right into the middle of that. Wow. That's a good tender steak. I can eat this all day long or all night tonight. This is really, really good. And paying $7.50 a pound for this is great. Chuck eye is going to be on my list from now on. Hey, so if this inspires you to go cook some chuck eye in the backyard, that would be absolutely awesome. You just need to figure out what you're going to cook in your backyard this weekend. If you like what you're seeing here, hit that subscribe, like, share it with a friend. Go out and buy a value pack of chuck eyes with them and go cook them in your backyard. Hey, and from Barbecue Plus, thanks for watching.